they went back to work in that same building 3 or 4 hours later after a terror attack. Name me the terror attack where it was business as usual 3 or 4 hours later.
And it is an anniversary of a violent terrorist attack on the Capitol, where we saw the men and women of law enforcement demonstrate incredible courage.
We have seen bombs go off in Boston at the marathon. We have seen the towers fall in New York City without, we know what terror attacks look like. And so for Ted Cruz to go along with this game that the left is playing and trying to turn January 6th into a terror attack. This is where I'm talking about politicians. And I'm not suggesting that my approach is the right approach for everyone. But this is why I struggle to vote. Because I don't see any politician willing to stand on truth. And so if they're not standing on truth, oh, well, his lies aren't as big as their lies, and so therefore, he's better than the big liars. You can't have big lies without little ones. The little lies justify the big lies. And so for Ted Cruz to sit up here and open his mouth and act like January 6th was a terror attack. You know how many terror attacks go on in Chicago and in other major cities, Philadelphia, other major cities, New York today? If January 6th was a terror attack where only one person got killed, what goes on in South Central Los Angeles every day, every weekend? What goes on in Chicago, in all these major cities? People legitimately afraid to stay, sleep, and work and move around their communities. And Ted Cruz is on TV in front of cameras, in front of Congress, pretending like this is a terror attack when they went back to work in that same building 3 or 4 hours later after a terror attack. Name me the terror attack where it was business as usual 3 or 4 hours later. We see bodies drop in major cities, and that community won't go back to business as usual in 3 or 4 hours. The small lies justify people telling big lies. And so Ted's right in the game with them. These people are playing with our emotions. And you want to know why the people showed up at the Capitol last year on January the 6th? It's because of the little lies like the one Ted Cruz just told. He's supposed to be representing their point of view. If they felt like they had a voice, they wouldn't have gotten cars and driven to Washington, D.C. to go make sure their voices are heard. If they had a voice, if the people elected to defend them and to represent their voice would stand on truth and speak up, they wouldn't come to the Capitol. They would stay their ass at home and take care of their wives, kids, and families and neighborhoods. But because people like Ted Cruz don't have the intestinal fortitude, the balls, the manliness to stand on truth, they have to come out of character and do things they shouldn't have to do.